Looking back 13 years ago, I went in for a routine checkup at 34 weeks pregnant with my first baby boy. Mom and Lisa had went in with me because today we would get to see the little guy during an ultrasound. Although I was so happy to see Carsyn moving around, the ultrasound tech had made several notes, and I felt a little unsure if this was all still routine or not. So I was born special. When I asked her about it, she just replied that Dr. Buckley would be in shortly to talk with me. I immediately felt weighted with anxiety, but still overjoyed that within the next couple of months we would finally get to meet our precious little guy. After talking with Dr. Buckley, he explained that the fluid surrounding Carsyn was extremely low and that I needed to be induced the same day. Emotions took over me. Being my first, I had no idea what to expect and had no experience at all with preemies. I didn't have a bag packed, and I definitely didn't have any preemie clothes or anything. Mom comforted me, and Lisa ran into the hallway and called Jeremy. I didn't even want to know how fast Jeremy drove to get to me from Londonderry, but he was there within 3 minutes, it seemed. We went to labor and delivery, and they started the process of inducing labor. Still can't see the end. For those of you who know all of those inducing tricks that the doctors have, we went through all of them. Medicine, volleyball, breaking water, pitocin, Cervidil, and you name it. We had it trying to get this labor going. Slowly but surely I started dilating and was enough pain to where... Oh, I still can't see the bottom. To where we decided to do an epidural. 3 days later, and one empty epidural later, Carsyn Scott Forcum was born. He was envisioned in my mind, and my mind couldn't really decide if it were really my little boy laying there, if it was an angel instead. Instead, he was perfect and precious. He was a hefty 5 pounds, 14 ounces, and was quickly taken by the nurses to be assessed. Carsyn was having problems breathing due to the lack of time his lungs had to develop since delivering early. We went to visit him in the nursery because he wasn't allowed to be unhooked from the monitors or off the oxygen that he needed. Jeremy rolled my wheelchair right up beside him for me to hold his little hand. He was only about an hour old and I couldn't hold him. His little voice would whimper with every breath, and nurses said that he was working really hard to breathe. Seeing him struggle felt like something had stuck a burning hot iron into my chest and left it there. I felt like I couldn't do much, and I wasn't real sure that would happen next. Our pediatrician decided that Carsyn was just working too hard to breathe and that he wouldn't be best in the hands of the Children's Hospital NICU. The mobile unit would be there shortly to pick him up. Even though he wasn't 24 hours old, Dr. Buckley knew there was no way that he was keeping me there if the baby was going north. So when Children's arrived to take Carsyn, they gave me a Polaroid snapshot of him, and they were on their way. I was a mess, but Jeremy was holding strong, as he always does. You have to remember that this was long before all of our extreme preemie experiences with Jensen, Lacey, Abby, and I felt so unsure about what was happening. If I had the knowledge and experience I do now, I would have known that this was basically a breeze compared to how it could have been, but nonetheless, it felt so dramatic at the time. My heart aches wondering if he was okay. Children's Hospital took such great care of Carsyn and us. It was amazing to see the babies were in the NICU up there, and it made me very thankful that Carsyn had as little problems as I did. We stayed a couple of days in a room directly in the NICU, but then had to move to Ronald McDonald House across the road. I bawled every night walking across the street and leaving Carsyn there, but we returned very first thing in the mornings. It felt like an eternity to me, but the day came to take baby home. He was over 6 pounds and was nursing and doing great. I get some of the details of the hospital stay mixed up, some of it's a blur, but I never forget having that overwhelming support from Jeremy Forcum and all of our families. I will never forget the unity that has felt with Jeremy and the way both of us grew into parenting roles. I can see the end. I can see it. I have become. My heart beats for another now that I'm called Mom. It is what I have meant to be, and I am very blessed to have welcomed my first baby boy 13 years ago today. Happy birthday to my main man, Carsyn Forcum. He is a gorgeous young man figuring himself out each day. He is smart and strong-willed and has an enormous heart. I thank God every day that I was given the opportunity to be his mama. I love you, babe. Have a wonderful day. Picture number 1, Carsyn with sunglasses. Picture number 2, Carsyn with Randy. Picture number 3, Carsyn with Cruz. Picture number 4, Carsyn with Cruz. Picture number 5, Carsyn. Picture number 6, Carsyn engaged. Picture number 7, Carsyn and Kawasaki dirt bike. Love you, Mom.